Hey there, if you're afraid of spiders, you might want to avoid Mars, especially in March 2025. NASA's Perseverance rover found something super strange on the surface of Mars. It looked like a pile of tiny spider eggs, hundreds of little round balls, all stuck together on a hill called Wish Hazel, near Jezero Crater. People were freaking out. Could these be alien spiders ready to hatch? Well, nope. Luckily, or sadly, it wasn't spider eggs at all. When scientists looked closer, it turned out to be just a weirdly shaped rock with some Martian dust on it. They named it St. Paul's Bay, and it's what scientists call a float rock. That means it didn't form where it was found. It got moved there somehow. Now, here's the cool part. It might have come from a meteor crash. A powerful impact could have launched pieces of rock into the air, and they cooled into those little balls. That would mean the rock came from far away and might tell us more about big impacts on Mars. Another idea is that it just rolled down the hill from darker layers up top. NASA is planning to study that area more to see if the rock and the hill layers match. If they do, it could mean there was a volcano, a meteor strike, or even groundwater in the past. And if there was water, that's a big deal. There's a chance we could find signs of ancient life. NASA plans to bring some of these rocks back to Earth in the 2030s with a special mission. Then we can really take a close look. But here's something even crazier. Mars spiders. Mars actually has something called spiders. Not real ones, though. These are huge patterns on the ground that look like spider legs. Some are over 3,000 feet wide. They were first seen in 2003, and they've been showing up in satellite photos ever since. For years, scientists didn't know what caused them. Now we do. It turns out, during the Martian spring, sunlight hits frozen carbon dioxide, also known as dry ice, sitting on the ground. The sunlight warms the ground under the ice, and the ice turns straight into gas. That gas builds up and then, boom, it bursts through the surface, blasting sand and dust everywhere and leaving behind those spooky spider patterns. Scientists even recreated this here on Earth in a special chamber nicknamed Dusty. They used fake Martian soil, dry ice, and heat lamps. And yep, little spider shapes appeared. They also found out that ice forms inside the soil too, and that cracks the ground, which explains why the spider legs are all zigzaggy. Now scientists want to figure out why these spider patterns only happen in some places on Mars, and not others. Mars loves to trick us. Mars keeps playing tricks on us with weird rock shapes. In 2023, NASA's Curiosity rover found a tiny rock that looks like a travel-size book. Just 1 inch wide. Of course, it's not a real book, just a funny-shaped rock. That same year, an orbiter spotted something that looked like a giant teddy bear face. It had eyes, a nose, and a big smile. Scientists said it was just natural erosion, but still, pretty cute. In 2022, another strange thing appeared. A little flower made of minerals. It looked like coral or a tiny plant, but it formed when water mixed with rock. It's rare and super cool. Then there was the doorway that Curiosity found. People thought it was a secret entrance. But nope, it's just a natural crack in the rock. Even back in 2018, scientists saw what looked like fossil footprints. Turned out, it was just salt left behind from dried-up water. And let's not forget the Martian blueberries. Back in 2004, NASA's Opportunity rover found tiny round rocks called blueberries. They're not real fruit, they're made of iron. But they're important because they formed in water. That's more proof that Mars used to be wet a long time ago. So yeah, Mars might not have spiders, but it does have a lot of weird and wild stuff going on. And who knows what Perseverance or Curiosity will find next. If you enjoyed this space mystery, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and stay tuned for more amazing stories from the Red Planet.